So good morning, everyone. In my series of sharing a lot of stuff with Powerball, because of there's just so much things that people just don't understand and they keep messing up, and I keep having to answer these questions. So I'm going to share them here and make sure that you tune in. So for today's. So for a very long time, I really didn't share any of my inventions, my libraries, if you hadn't gone through my course. But there was a big uproar and people were saying, oh, I don't understand why you do that. Just give it to us. We know what we're doing. So I decided, why not? And it's been about 2 or 3 years that it's just out there in the wild. And what happens is people have issues, whether it's their printing or their milling, and they just don't understand what it is. So the first thing I'm going to say to you is make sure that they use the correct library. There are a lot of people that made their own libraries that don't use the correct libraries because they're not sure. It's not so much about your scanner, but it's more about your printer and your mill and what's controlling your mill. And based on that, I've created different libraries to allow to make sure that when your prosthesis is printed, the screw fits perfectly without having to adjust it at all. And really, there's just no reason for you to have to adjust the screws inside your prosthesis, whether it's milled, whether it's printed, unless obviously there's a problem with your hardware. Sometimes a printer can go out of whack, sometimes a mill cannot be calibrated, but I'm talking about when everything is just lined up correctly and everything is supposed to be done. Use the correct library. Make sure that your designer knows what they're doing, and if they don't, teach them. Look through the library if you have it. There are hyperdent libraries. There are what we call non-hyperdent libraries. There are printing libraries. With milling now, we have what's called an implant module. Millbox has it now. Hyperdent has it now, where it will take my library that's been verified and completely change inside the prosthesis so that the screw will always be the screw seat will always be milled correctly. So make sure you use your correct library.